Okay, so what we have here is a Baker's cyst on the back part of the knee here. This is called the popliteal fossa, and when our knees fill with fluid, there's a valve here out of which some of the fluid can extrude, and then you get a collection, which you can see on the ultrasound screen, which is that black bubble. It's sort of like an overflow tank, if you will, of joint fluid, and it can cause pressure on the back of the knee, it can cause pain. And this is a fairly sizable cyst, so we're going to remove this. But you'll see it's a very simple in-office procedure. And what we're going to do here is we'll just, we of course want to use ultrasound guidance so you know exactly what you're doing. You want to clean the patient off well. And then we're going to numb them using a very small needle and a little bit of lidocaine so they barely feel any of the procedure. But just a real quick numbing poke. Okay, now we administer just a little bit of lidocaine, and that way the patient will not feel the second part of the procedure as much. And like that. The lidocaine might burn a little bit, but you can even, let's see if you can see, up on the ultrasound, you can even see that needle on kind of the top portion of the screen. You'll see it better when we go to part 2, but anyway, they're numbed up now. And so we're going to go back and use, now the needle for part 2 is a little bit bigger, but the patient really won't feel it because they're nice and numb. So we just are going to advance that larger needle into the Baker's cyst. And again, we're visualizing everything we're doing here. So let's go ahead and take a look back at the screen. You can see that needle sitting right in that black area. And already, I'm not even applying pressure. Take a look at the syringe here. I'm not even pulling back on it. There's so much pressure in there that it's pushing out on its own because there's so much fluid. It's kind of like a taut water balloon. So without doing anything, it's starting to drain itself. And you can look back on the screen. You can see the fluid going into the needle in the syringe there. So the nice thing is that you can make sure that it's drained in its entirety. Sometimes we'll be quite surprised when we visualize the Baker's cyst. It's a lot bigger than it appears on exam. And it can also kind of extend up and down the leg. So doing the ultrasound ensures that you get the entirety of the Baker's cyst. So we're going to drain out most of this here, and I'll actually have to change and get a new syringe as he fills this one up. So I'm going to put the ultrasound probe down for a minute, and then I'm just going to spin this lower lock off. It's okay if it drips a little bit because we've got some pads down. I spin this one back on. I go back to the ultrasound. We're going to take another look, and we're still going. We got more fluid in there, still drawing off, and then you'll see that. Let's see if we can get a good look at this. There's a tail on this Baker's cyst that extends down between the gastrocnemius muscle. Yeah, let's point to that little tail there. Yep. So there's the gastrocnemius muscle, the medial head of the gastrocnemius, and then the semimembranosus tendon. And that's where Baker's cysts tend to lie. So it's a pretty predictable location on the back part of the knee. We're going to keep drawing this fluid out. We're getting there. And we're going to get about 24, 25 cc's out of Baker's cyst, so it's pretty sizable. And a Baker's cyst of that size can cause quite a bit of tightness, discomfort, difficulty bending the knee. So as you can see, that black balloon that we started with is pretty much decompressed. I'm going to get a little more out here. But it's pretty much gone. So just like that, I'm going to take that needle out and then back to the knee. That's it. So it's a lot less taut here, and then with that simple in-office procedure that's essentially painless after you numb the patient up, we just took care of that Baker's cyst. So that's all. Baker's cyst aspiration.